Hello everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. It is a Friday night as per usual. We're at our 8:30 slot, and I'm just really excited to be here for yet again another episode. And here we are, we're at episode 59 already. Like I said, I was talking to my one friend, and I was just saying about how how could I say? I'm just so surprised at just the amount of feedback that I've been able to get just from the show and from the project of these t-shirts. And my friend had told me, just like, why are you so surprised about the support? Like, and when I had to really think about it, I feel like it was more of just not a surprise, but it's just a mutual appreciation of the amount of support that is given to me each and every week. Want to shout out to Matt Kayumjan, my brother Tyree Holmes, Josh Heemsel on our Instagram live feed, Ishbad Crane, Nihir Trivedi, my boy Alex Balonis on our Facebook live. Like I said, each and every week, you're going to be delivered a quality podcast, something that, I am so proud of, to the point where, I got it on a shirt here. And, I'll say this. We've went through about 2 orders now. We have the OG2s that are going to drop out on July 1st. Some of my loyal fans out there might have gotten their hands on an OG2. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not going to say any names. But, the OG2s are going to drop July 1st. And, in the midst of that happening, I've been out and about in a lot of different places. And like I said, it's just like warmed my heart to see the amount of people that have actually been wearing these shirts. I talked before about, how, the shirts, it means more than just money, these shirts, right? I put my blood, sweat, and tears into trying to make this show better each and every week, and the t-shirt is a reflection of that. And to be able to say that, we've sold over 75 t-shirts in just about 2 or 3 weeks, it just pays a testament to the quality of the podcast that this is, but also just the amount of loyalty that I have out there. I got to have a really good conversation with my boy Zach House. Shout out to him. And he was somebody that I haven't talked to in about, 7-8 years, since the York College days. But one of the things that this project has done is, it's been able to get me, to reconnect with a lot of different people. Shout out to my boy Lynch, who actually picked up a shirt as well, too. And through reconnecting with all these different people, I've really gotten, like I said, a greater appreciation, or, the moment is never, minimized, like every single time I get so excited. I saw my boy Boston today. We were all hanging out after playing some basketball, and I saw Boston wearing the white, the OG1 shirt, and, I just had to go up and give him a hug, because it just meant so much to me for him to, be supporting my dream. Shout out to Crystal Dice, because when I came into the liquor store today, she actually wound up, personalizing her shirt, her OG1 shirt, and made it tie-dye, which I thought was super awesome, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had my one boy Stanley who said how he wanted to kind of, personalize his shirt in a way. So just the fact that I've had people that are so invested in getting these shirts, but also on top of that, to wear them, and wear them proudly. It just gives me more incentive to come out each and every week and just try and give you a bunch of the topics that you want to hear about. So, before we get into this show, I definitely want to say a huge shout out to all of my fans and everybody that's been listening in each and every week. Shout out to Stephen Baum, Chris Shank Jr., Dave Stonis, love you, brother. We have also my boy Jeff on the Instagram live stream. But, also wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my sponsors. Got to give a big special shout out to VW Liquors, located in Wick Plaza, Edison, New Jersey.
VW!
I love them over there. We got Caroline, we got Dave, we got Crystal Dice, Gabe Azzarello, my boy Tim, Dave. I just, every single one of them, Neva, they just make me feel welcome and at home, and, the support they've shown wearing the shirts. I mean, I think they're more excited to wear the shirts than I am sometimes, so definitely want to thank them so much for, making my experience in their store, just a great time every time. And then also want to give a big shout out to 91s.com. They got the best acid wash apparel in the game. I saw Cody just drop a new, like, I think it's like a basketball type pink jersey. That's pretty tough. So definitely check him out at 91s.com. And then also, big shout out to my boy Executive Bar and Restaurant. Prashant, I love you very much. They're located in 30 Menu Street, Carteret, New Jersey. As we're starting to open up, you want to definitely check out some of these businesses that have the outdoor seating. So, support those businesses. Don't be afraid to get outside there and check out some places. So, I'm definitely excited to come deliver this show. At the end of the show, we are going to be raffling off one of the OG2 shirts. Look at how beautiful this thing looks, man. Oh, my God. But, yeah, we're going to be raffling off one of those. If you want a shirt, put your name in the chat. Say, hey, this is me. I want to get a shirt, and we're going to put you in the raffle. Dad, let's put Jeff in there. Let's put Heems. Let's put Ish. All right, let's put Chris Shank. Let's put Dave. Stephen Baum. Let's put Matt Kayumjan, all these people in here. And if you do want to get your name in there, just put your name in the stream, and we will get your name in for the raffle for one of the OG2 shirts. But if you haven't noticed, I was at Crystal Dice wants to get put in there as well too. But
I have her in.
All right. I will say this, that I don't know if a lot of people don't know, but I was finally able to get myself a cut. I finally got to get to the barbershop. And I know for a lot of us out there that have been in quarantine, a lot of us have been growing our quarantine beards, right? So I know I think it was Monday of this week, where I had reached out to the barbershop that I go to, each and every week whenever things are open. And, I was just elated to be able to finally have some sort of normalcy back, right? I think a lot of times with, the coronavirus and how we've been so kind of trained and how our norm has been social distancing and has been things not being exactly open. I was just so excited to just finally get back, to some sort of my regular life and getting in the barber's chair. It's something that I missed so much. And, for a lot of people that are scared still and, want to take the utmost precaution, I'm 100% with you. I stand with you. But at some point, we got to try and, get back to our regular norms, but, try and add a little bit of the precautions in there and social distancing, right? I know one of the things with, what would he have? Mal Pacino, is he better than Trier? But one of the things that we've seen is with the barbershops is we've had the glass coming up. Well, not glass, but we've had a little bit of the plastic in between stalls. The place where I was at, they didn't actually have the plastic in the barbershop. They wound up having the barbers wearing masks. And when it wasn't our time to cut the beard, we were able to put our mask on and get a cut. The only thing that was really different as far as going to the barbershop, at least around me, was the fact that, normally when you wait in line, you'll have this little area where you can sit down at. But for the social distancing here in Jersey or whatever, or the precautions, people were not allowed to sit down inside. I know they've kind of used those same regulations with, restaurants and everything. But like I said, it just felt good to get in the chair, get my fade back, get myself lined up. So everybody out there, if you're worried about the coronavirus and you're a little bit worried about hitting up your barbershop, hitting up the nail salon, don't worry. There's things in place and precautions and stipulations in place to keep everything safe. And we're gonna get back to normal sometime soon, hopefully. And the one thing that's kind of, like I said, I've touched on it a little bit as well too. That's been on my mind, or kind of not exactly had me in the best mind frames. But, we've come to a conclusion, I said before, with, my employment with Playworks, which is a nonprofit. I spent the last 6 years with them. So, it was a tough pill to swallow to see that, I was let go and, dealing with the unemployment situation. It's been changes. It's been very difficult to deal with. But, the strength that I've had with, having my friends and family that have constantly been encouraging me and, giving me words of wisdom and advice, it's meant the world to me, especially in a time like this where, in most situations, you try and go out and, try and forget about things or, try and get your mind off it through, playing different things. But, this has been a time where, with seeing uncertainty and now having, the reality that my tenure with this nonprofit is over, it really makes you wonder. It really gives you within yourself, and you have to dig within yourself and say, what are you made of? What am I going to do with this? Am I going to sit down here and cry about it? Am I going to feel bad about myself? Or am I going to get up and fight, And one of the things that, I really took to trying to get into fight was, when I woke up, I got out a couple applications out there. And I know I talked before with Lou about how difficult it is out there where, not a lot of places have hiring freezes. But, amidst all of that, you just gotta try and not take no for an answer. I tried to get out at least 10 applications out there today. Did a little bit of touching up to the resume, and one of the big things that's kind of helped me to find different opportunities to apply to, and has made things a little bit easier for opportunities to come to me. And I've preached this so much to a lot of my friends out there, but I don't know if they're really taking advantage of it. But if you do not have a LinkedIn profile, please make yourself a LinkedIn profile. I don't care whether you're 55 years old, whether you're 21 years old, or you're fresh out of college. If you do not have a LinkedIn profile, please make yourself a LinkedIn profile. Because especially in a time like this, where we have uncertainty with employment, and especially not even talking about that, but see if you can try and find other opportunities or find different ways to connect with people. I've been able to try and tap into my alumni network from Millersville University, and it's been so refreshing to see the different resources that you can use to try and pull yourself out of the crab bucket, right? So that's going to be my big advice to everyone out there, is to please get yourself a LinkedIn profile. I think one of the best things that they had done for me from Playworks was giving us this opportunity to get a free year of the gold membership of LinkedIn. And through there, I was able to find, different matches for my profile and see if I can find different opportunities. I have had a wealth of different people that have reached out to me to try and give me a little bit of knowledge that I've applied on this show, applied it on my resume. So, it is definitely a resource out there for people to try and, tap into. We have Ricardo Vizca, who says, greetings from Tennessee. We met at the liquor store. Yes, we did, at VW Liquors, man. Thank you for tuning into our IG Live. But one of the things I wanted to share with you all about with my experience that I had with LinkedIn today was the fact that, even in a time where I was, feeling down and I felt, upset about, how I got let go and how I don't necessarily have that job stability now, having to figure out, what I'm going to do with insurance and with 401ks, and, it's a lot of things thrown at you at once. But, I think the one thing, like I said, from this experience that I had with LinkedIn today, it really elevated me and got me right back into those positive spirits. But I want to give a big shout out to my boy Grant Telford. And he's a guy, just a kid from Florida, out of Florida State, who just happened to message me on LinkedIn. And, he told me that he was some guy that, was trying to start up his own sports business. And he was just reaching out as a resource, trying to see, try and pick my brain and see how he could make himself better. And in a time where I'm trying to get myself better, get myself back to a place where I need to be of financial stability, of happiness in my career path, I was able to take some time and set up a Zoom call with a kid that just graduated college, man. And, he was really excited to just pick my brain. He asked me a bunch of questions. I think we talked for about a good 30 minutes on the Zoom. But, this kid Grant, he definitely made me feel, how could I say, like I definitely had the answers. I feel like a lot of times where, you're in situations where, you're not exactly getting the success that you're looking for, or you're not exactly getting the results that you feel that you deserve based off of the effort that you've put in. It's definitely refreshing to have someone else from the outside looking in that's looking up to you and is admiring the things that you've been able to do. And, to try and empower him and to influence him to be able to look within himself and better himself, that was something that meant the world to me. So just taking out 30 minutes before I went on my run, to talk to this kid who, is trying to start his thing, it's something that I feel like it makes me who I am, I'm just somebody that's going to constantly try and put out positive energy and see what that receives in the end. I think when you have a positive mind state, when you have a positive outlook on things and you're constantly trying to do better things, you're going to have things that are going to happen that are going to knock your socks off a little bit. I mean, just the amount of the support that I've had to sell over 75 shirts, the fact that we've been able to monetize this podcast, been able to make it better. We're on Instagram Live now. These are all steps that have been taken, and not just steps, but calculated steps. And to be able to share those steps that I've been able to do with, this show with somebody who's fresh out of college, who doesn't even live anywhere close to me, it just extends to the reach of, the power of what positive energy can do. So like I said to everybody out there, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, please get a LinkedIn profile, because you never know who you'll be able to connect to, and you'll never know what kind of opportunities you've been able to apply for. I never would have thought that my resume was a perfect match for the Drew Barrymore show, right? I haven't seen Drew Barrymore or anything in dumb long, but just the fact that my profile matched, that's something that I was able to find some positivity in and to apply for, right? So you never know. You just got to put yourself out there. But like I said, it's just even though that we have these routines that are positive routines, or we have different things that try and help out with positivity and get us to that place that we need to go. There's definitely times where you're gonna get knocked down a little bit. I know me personally, I was just so excited over these past couple weeks to be running and to get out there and run those miles. But over the past, I'd say maybe week or past couple of days, I found that I was getting a little lazy. I woke up and I wasn't running. I found that I was hitting up the fast food a little bit. I was hitting the beach, and when I was hitting the beach, obviously you want to have a beer, so I was breaking my no drinking rule during the week. So, I started to see that, I wasn't exactly getting on the same results path that I was before. I saw that I wasn't exactly feeling as right? The neighbors down the street, or your friends on Xbox, they might not know that you went to Taco Bell at 10 at night, but I know, and I didn't feel good sleeping that night. So I think that in breaking our positive routines, it's definitely important to try and hop back on the horse, no matter how hard it is. And even today, as hot as it was, I think it was something like 89, 90 degrees at noon. I thought it was very important. It was imperative to go out there and run those miles, So even though it is difficult to try and stay in there, and sometimes we may get knocked off of our horse, it's human. It's life, But, don't let that affect, or don't let that stop you from getting back out there. And even if you are down, you can still get back on the horse. Now, I want to give a big shout out to my boy Stanley, because he's kind of been pushing everybody to be active, Since the rims have come up from playing basketball, me and him have been able to play basketball a bunch, and it's really been refreshing. Like I said, we're going to have bowling alleys that are going to start to come back. I'm really excited that Majestic's going to be coming back pretty soon, along with a lot of the other bowling alleys. But, as we start to come back, I just think it's going to be very important that we follow whatever stipulations that they have for us, or whatever regulations are in place, so that we can keep the sports that we have back, right? I know we're excited about the NBA that's coming back. I know we're excited about the NFL and the MLB, who just settled their deal, so they're going to have a 60-game season. But for a lot of people out there that are throwing their money out there for the sports that we like to play, like bowling, like golf. Me and my dad and my brother, we got to go to the driving range. My dad and my brother got to shoot a couple holes of golf. I personally am so happy that these things are starting to open up, but we just have to make sure that we're following the right regulations and the right precautions. As tough as it was for me to play basketball, I still chose to play it with the mask. I tell you what, it was hard as shit. I thought that I was about to die, man, just from the exhaustion that you have from wearing the mask. But, if you're going to be willing to play that sport, you got to put it on. I know for a lot of people at bowling, they might not feel comfortable bowling with the mask. but it's going to be something that you're going to have to get used to because, whatever our norm was from before, you got to throw that away like the ex-girlfriend, right? You got to throw her away, and you got to try and move forward and move on to what this new. You got to try and move on to what our new reality is, and whatever that new reality is, and trying to bring things back. You got to make sure that you're wearing a mask. So if you're playing basketball, wear the mask, however difficult it is. When we come back to the bowling alleys, it might not look cool, but wear the mask, man, because, getting back out there is one thing. But as we start to see with some of these states that have opened up and have kind of been a little bit laxed with the way that they've been dealing with things, we're starting to see that a lot of the cases starting to spike with coronavirus in these states. So, as we start to open up, make sure that we are following the right precautions, everyone, please. And, as we talk about things starting to reopen, I know a lot of people are excited that MLB is back. I was very worried at the fact that we weren't going to see an MLB season. I will tell you that. But I am very excited to say that we are going to have a 60-game season. We're going to have the teams that are going to play within their division and then also their opposite, right? So if you're in the NL East, your games out of division will be against the AL East, right? So, I know they're talking about potentially an opening day with the Mets and the Yankees squaring off, and I think that would be phenomenal for baseball. But, we just have something great to look forward to. I was bashing the Major League Baseball because, we had people that were arguing over millions of dollars, and they really lost perspective of, what the whole point of the negotiations was to bring back the sport that everybody wants to watch, right? So I commend the MLB for, getting it back. We have Derek Thomason who says, "Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets." I can't wait to see them play, right? Regardless of whether there's fans in the stadium, regardless of whether we get to see them, in Citi Field, I know they'll be training there, but, most of the games will be played in Florida. But, wherever they're going to be, streamed on, you best believe I'm going to be watching the Mets. And I bet you didn't know, Derek, but, the Caesars released the odds for the MLB, and surprisingly, the Mets aren't as, lowly favored as you would think. Coming into this season, we have the Mets that are favored at 9-1 odds. That is not bad, who wouldn't mind putting some money on the Mets? When you have the Mets, who they say prospectively has one of the best bullpens in baseball now, when you add, Dylan Betances, even though we lose Noah Syndergaard in the pitching staff, we still were able to beef up that pitching staff, with guys like, Porcello and, just getting those spot starts out. Maybe we can get Waka in that rotation, Michael Waka in that rotation now. So, I'm very surprised that, the Mets were at that 9-1 odds. I think that they're going to really do some good things this year. And I think a lot of people aren't expecting the Mets to do much, but, I feel like if, Cespedes is healthy and we can utilize him in that newly acquired DH spot in the National League, I think that it's going to be huge. I think that Cespedes there, if Robinson Cano can have a bounce back year, I find it very hard to believe that he can have 2 straight years of just, poop. I don't think that he has it in him. I think that Cano's going to do some great things for us. And, we got a lot of young talent. We have Jeff McNeil who's coming back on the scene. Brandon Nimmo, who's been, just as great defensively as he has been as a leadoff hitter. You have Jacob deGrom, who's arguably the best pitcher in baseball. So, it's hard not to see the Mets as a 9-1 odds. But as we all know as Mets fans, it means anything on paper, but you still got to go out there and play baseball. So, I'm just excited that we're going to see a Mets product, and let's see how they're going to look, and let's see if they can live up to that 9-1 odds. Maybe I got to go to Long Branch and put in some money on the Mets at the racetrack. Who knows? But with baseball coming back, we're also going to be competing with the NBA that's coming back. And one of the conversations that I've had with a lot of people is that, a lot of people are thinking that, this season is kind of almost like a sham a little bit, right? I know a lot of people aren't exactly high on the 8-game regular season and having 22 teams invited and not every other team, not all 32 teams invited. It kind of adds to a little bit of that, hyphenization on that season, right? So I think that the biggest question a lot of people that I've heard reoccurring that I think a lot of people would like to have answered is, what, or do we think that, if the NBA still does come back, which they will, is that NBA Finals at the end, is it still going to have that same luster? Are we still going to hold, that NBA Finals to the same regard as maybe a Kawhi Leonard's last year, who had a full season, had a full postseason? I think it's hard to really, put this championship up there when you're making it optional for players to come and play in your tournament or playoffs or whatever. I find it hard to believe, and it's hard to add the luster to it. I think, are we going to watch the NBA? Of course. We haven't watched sports in months. You'd be crazy to think I'm not going to want to see it. But in the back of our minds, are we really going to hold it to the same, regard? I can already see it now. What if LeBron James wins with the Lakers? Is that going to be like a blimp on his legacy that, you won it during a shortened season, you won it during the Corona season, that doesn't count? I can start to see it coming already, right? So, I wonder, is it still going to have the same, luster? Is it still going to be held in the same regard as the other championships out there in this shortened season? I don't think the NBA cares too much. I think that they just want to get a product out there to us that we're going to watch. And, they're probably right. We are going to watch it. But, it definitely is a great question to ask. And it's going to be interesting to see just how the players even play. I know I've seen Victor Oladipo, who was kind of worried about whether he should come back or wait for next year, It's going to be interesting because a lot of these teams, we don't know if their players are coming back. And then on top of that, we still don't know with the coronavirus testing, if players are going to test during, what if it happens during game ones of the finals, Are you not going to have that player for, the whole rest of the series? Do you hold out? These are the things that we're going to start to see, as we really progress closer to the date of NBA getting started again. And, like I said, each and every week, I'm so happy to see all the different people that we have that are tuned in on our Instagram Live and our Facebook Live. Shout out to my boy Zach House. He said, or is it worth more because they literally risked their lives for it? That's actually a good point there. Do we hold those championships even more and elevate them more now because of the stipulations that we have out there and because of the risk that these players are taking? You might get a virus that can kill you in weeks, if you play this game. But I think, like you said, Zach, it really might be worth more for some people. It might be worth more to try and get that championship under extreme duress, right? Jeffrey says, good point, but feel people will always have an asterisk on the season due to the short length. Think about it. When you had the Spurs who won in 1998 against my Knicks, not a lot of people talk about that championship because I believe that was a shortened season as well, too. It's just the nature of people. It's just the nature of what people think, man. I personally, myself, I think I'm kind of along the fence here with Zach, too, about, it's very, very much a thing where we're at risk. And with all the different layoffs and people that have, taken time off of basketball and not putting basketball as the number one priority, I think this is going to be an even harder championship to win for some people. And we're going to really see some tough games out there, man. Especially if they do the interleague play where, it's just top to bottom, 1 through 18. It could be a really interesting playoff scenario, man. And, as much as it's a shortened season, like Jeff said, a lot of people might still put an asterisk on this. But, I'm just happy either way that we're going to have it. John Wydell says same thing with MLB with only having 60 games for a season. I mean, it's true. Are we going to hold an asterisk over this MLB season too? It's going to be really interesting. But like I said, I'm just really happy that we're going to have some sports. And just the fact that we even have sports to talk about here. There is a clear and concise conclusion at the end of the tunnel. We are going to have sports. So I want to thank everyone out there that was tuning into the Talk That Talk show. And please go out there and watch some of the sports, right? They're going to be coming soon. We had a great episode here. A lot of people tuned in. Hey, Dad, let's get John Wydell in on the raffle. Let's get Ryan Bruno. Let's get Naya Santiago. Oh, well, she won a shirt. We're gonna have her sit this one now. I'm sorry, Naya. Let's get David Hollenbeck in there. Let's get John Cliff. Let's get Alvin in there. All right, if you are tuned in, all right, if you want to get in on the raffle, put your name in the chat. Say, hey, this is me. I want to get my name. I want to get a shirt. Put it in the comments, and we're going to raffle it off for you to get one of the OG2 shirts that are dropping July 1st. All right, July 1st, these drop. But before we get into that last raffle, you know, as I close this show out.
Before you start, Barry, I'm going to just give you all the names that I have. I got Dave S., Zach, John W., Ryan, Chris S., Donnie J., Jeff Heens, Stephen B., Matt, Mal P., Derek P., Ricardo, Christian A., John C., and Dave S. If I missed you, please put a comment in Facebook, okay?
There you go. So you heard it from my dad. We have a lot of people that are going to have their names spun on the wheel. Each and every week, you don't know if you're going to have... Oh, he said, let's get Ishabod in there. I think we did get you in there, Ish. We're going to put your name in on the raffle. But like I said, each and every week, we do not know who's going to win the shirt. Like I said, it's been very happy to see the amount of people that come in and tune in to try and get in. I think Crystal Dice wants to get in. Just the fact that we've been able to have so many people that want these shirts, and not only want these shirts, but they actually want to wear these shirts. I mean, I got my boy Carl Anthony, who has both the OG1 and the OG2s. Shh, don't tell anybody. But, you know, we have people that are supporting with this mission and this project. And it just makes me so happy. I mean, just to have people like Grant Telford that hit me up on LinkedIn trying to pick my brain about this show and how we're trying to get it better. You know, like I said, the energy that you put out there is the energy that you're going to receive, right? So, you know, as long as I'm out here living and breathing, I'm going to try and be a positive influence, you know, and add value to other people's lives outside of my own. And to that, we are going to review this beer here. This one's from Bolero Snort Brewery yet again, but it's called Rainbro. All right, last time I had the Juicy Pebbles, but this one, really cool packaging here. It's called Rainbro by Bolero Snort Brewery. It's got 6% alcohol. It's a candy kettle sour ale. For a lot of people out there that, you know, are a fan of tart type beers, you know, this is going to be a beer that you might want to check out. It's something that has been, how could I say? It's been a little bit similar to Skittles per se, I think as my boy Gabe Azzarello says. But this Bolero Snort Brewery is a perfect beer for the summertime. I think it's a great seasonal beer that is going to be something that a lot of people are going to like. We had Kevin Schaefer before who used our beer reviews and went out to the store and got it. But if you want to go get this beer, try this beer out, go to VW Liquors, tell them Barry will send you, and see if you get yourself some nice beer here. But like I said, they're constantly bringing in new beers for me to try and to review on this show. And Rainbro is the next one on the list. And like I said, I'm a fan of tart beers myself. And, I'm really excited to try this one out. So for everybody out there, we're actually going to cheers this beer. We're going to cheers this to my boy Jeffrey, my brother Tyree, and my boy Reese. We got the dub on Call of Duty. I think my boy Theo just said he got the dub on Warzone. So we're going to cheers to everybody out there for tuning into the show. And if anybody's out there grinding on Warzone, keep grinding. You're going to get a win today. Cheers up. Here we go.
Ah, Bolero. Catch the Rainbro.
Yeah, this is actually a really good beer. A lot of times when you have tart beers, sometimes they're a little bit, I wouldn't say harsh, but the flavors can mix a little bit and it doesn't work, right? I think here where we have with Rainbro, we have where the flavors work. I just can't really put my finger on it. I think it tastes more like a sweet tart almost a little bit. But like I said, for a summer beer, if you're chilling in the backyard, if you're about to go on the catamaran, if you're about to go at the beach, I think this will be a perfect beer for you to try out. So please, go to Bolero Snort Brewery and get yourself a Rainbro beer. I might even put this over the Juicy Pebbles, honestly. I'm not even going to lie.
Glug 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 glug. What's up, Rainbro?
We got somebody here. Ishabad Crane says Mr. Holmes needs his own shirt. We got everybody who's putting glug 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 in there. I think that's a lot of people's favorite parts of the show. But also, before we get off the air here, big shout out, like I said, to my boy Alex Christopher at Black Moon Piercings and Tattoos. We were able to come up with these shirts that 100% of the proceeds went to the family of Breonna Taylor's, and the hopefully the resolve to her case. Like we said, this Black Lives Matter thing, just because a couple days and a couple weeks have went by doesn't mean that we're forgetting about it. It doesn't mean that it's stopped. It doesn't mean that the protests aren't going to keep going. We want to still make sure that we're adding awareness to the severity of the situation because it did not go anywhere, all right? We still have cases where people are dying. We still have people that are being treated unfairly and treated because of the color of their skin. And that shit is bullshit, all right? I can't say it enough. Black Lives Matter. And, just the fact that I'm here to be able to deliver a show to you each and every week, as a black man, as somebody that is listened to by white people. We have white people that do listen to this show. We have black people that listen to this show. We have Indian people, Asian people, people of all different colors, races, creeds, coming from different places. The Talk That Talk Show is the platform for us to all come together on a Friday night and just hang out and have a beer and talk about, stuff that's relevant, right? So, like I said, thank you to everybody that keeps tuning into this show. I love each and every one of you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you all out there. I really try hard to try and give you topics that you want to hear about, and then also open up myself and make myself vulnerable to give you all the things that are going on in my life. Because if my, how can I say, tribulations or the roadblocks that come in my life, if those experiences can help the next person to get through those same experiences or to add a little bit more value to their life, I'm going to continue to do it, man. This is what the Talk That Talk show is all about. Thank you, Derek, for saying it's another great show. Shout out to my boy Stephen Baum. Hopefully we'll be able to get on the lanes here soon, bro. But I think it's about that time. We're going to try and raffle off this last shirt here. I'm really excited, like I said, about this drop. July 1st it comes out. We sold over 75 units of both the OG1s and the OG2s to select few. I'm sorry. But July 1st, these will be out to the general public. The OG2 shirts are here. Like I said, I've sold over 75 units. And it's been very humbling, like I said, to see the amount of support that I've seen from people and the amount of people that are wearing these shirts. And I can't tell you the love and the humbleness, the appreciation that I have when I see people that are wearing my shirt and to tell other people about the show, man. It just makes me put the shirt on. It makes me want to go out there. It makes me want to go to VW Liquors to see what beer they want you guys to try and listen in for. Just gives us purpose out there in a time of uncertainty where, I have this new challenge that I'm trying to tackle with unemployment. For all the people out there that are dealing with unemployment too, I don't know if you're in New Jersey, but they're opening the offices. I know a lot of people might not be technology people. You might not be keen or privy on how to do the online forms, but they're opening the offices Monday. So if you are someone that struggles with technology and you're dealing with this unemployment just like me, they're opening up the offices Monday. Wear your mask. See if you can get somebody to talk to. If you haven't gotten your stimulus, if you didn't get your extra $600, now is the time to go to the office when they're opening it up. They're opening up the office, like I said, Monday. Was it June 29th? And I'm actually going to be going there myself. I think I'm going to the New Brunswick office to try and see if they can, do something with me, right? So, I'm just trying to add information for you all to listen out there too. Hopefully it enriches your life and adds, gives a little bit of, just a little bit of confidence for you as well too to try and deal with the situation that you're dealing with. So also, Dad, let's see if we can get Donnie Lee on the raffle for a shirt. Donnie Lee's been tearing up the Call of Duty Warzone charts, man. I remember just like, was it a month or two ago, you were like 30 wins behind me, and now you're just like within 10 of me now, man. So big shout out to Donnie Lee, who's been killing it on the Warzone scene. I see you, brother, and you're pushing me to get better out there, and we got a dub too, so I gotta try and keep you off my heels, brother. But to that, I'm gonna finish this beer. If this is your last chance, if you want to get in on this this raffle, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Facebook, put your name in the chat. Put a comment in, say I want a shirt. I'm going to finish this beer, and by the time I finish, we're going to put this raffle off. All right, here we go. Cheers.
Oh, Bolero! Catch the Rainbro!
Yeah, this Rainbro is really good, man. It's... Whew. I mean, a lot of times when I chug the beer after this, it's a little bit difficult. I'm like, oh, shit. It kind of hits you in the chest, but this went down surprisingly smooth. Pause. But we are going to send out this raffle here. Somebody is going to win the OG2 shirt. Let's spin the wheel here, Dad. Let's bring it on the other side here.
Here we go.
All right, let me see.
Put it right in front so everybody can see.
Yep, everybody's going to get a chance to see here. All right, we got a bunch of names here on the wheel. If you did not get a chance, I'm sorry. Please tune in. Oh, wait, let's see if we can get Chris. Let's get Chris Holmes in there, Dad. Let's get Chris Holmes in there. Our last entry into the raffle. Chris Holmes, I had to get you in there, brother. I love my boy Chris Holmes. I love that dude. We got to get him in on the raffle. All right, so now we got all these people here tuned in. We gotta about to do the raffle here, Dad. And when I get to 0, hit the button, and we're gonna spin that wheel, and we're gonna see who is gonna win the first OG2 shirt raffle. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, spin that wheel. Here we go, Dad. Spin the wheel. Oh no, you're not spinning it.
Say it again.
3, 2, 1, spin that wheel. Here we go. All right, the wheel is a-spinning. I don't know who's going to get a shirt, but somebody's going to get a shirt tonight, and that person is Donnie Lee, the hottest Call of Duty player on Warzone right now. Shout out to my boy Donnie Lee all the way out there in California. I love you, brother, Donnie Lee. We're going to get a shirt out to you. I got to see what size you are. I'm going to send that shirt out to you. Please wear it with pride, Donnie Lee. I can't believe Donnie won himself a shirt. Jeff, can you believe it? We were just talking about this guy saying about how he's been rising the ranks and getting all these wins on Call of Duty Warzone. So, big shout out to my boy Donnie Lee, who just won himself an OG2 shirt. Donnie Lee, the original Gangsta Capri's son. You just got yourself an OG2 shirt. Louis Guerra, want to give a big shout out to him, who's also tuned into our Facebook live stream. We're going to hopefully catch up here soon and, get a beer, brother. I'm going to have some quality beers for you to try out. But yeah, this is the Talk That Talk show each and every week.
Talk that talk!
You never know what you're going to see. You never know what we're going to talk about. This is something, like I said, that I'm so excited to bring each and every week. And just to see how it's grown, and we're everywhere here now, man. I mean, we're getting shirts that we're gonna send out to California. We have people that are wearing their shirts. Shout out to my boy Wavy Davy. He was wearing his shirt in Pennsylvania. The support is like I said, I never take it for granted. Shout out to Andres Martinez. Shout out to Angelo Paolo. But yeah, man, this is the Talk That Talk show each and every week. This is the 59th episode. Before I close out, we gotta give a special shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Executive Bar and Restaurant located in 30 Minion Street, Carteret, New Jersey. Shout out to 91s.com. They got the best acid wash apparel in the game. Love my boy Cody Bromley. And then finally, a big shout out to BW Liquors located in Wick Plaza, Edison, New Jersey. Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! And finally, we'll be able to say that and watch them play. So, this is the Talk That Talk show. Great episode. I love you all. Keep tuning in, whether you're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You name it, we are on it.
Pick it and get in there.
Yeah, please get in there. You can reach out to me July 1st. If you don't have it already, you can get yourself a OG2 shirt as well, too. Reach out to me at _ Talk That Talk Show on Instagram or Talk That Talk SH1 on Twitter. So reach out to me. See how you can get yourself a shirt, and we'll get it out to you. This is Barry Holmes at the Talk That Talk Show. I love you all, and I'll see you all next week.